In this video, I want to talk about the 7 biggest mistakes that I made when launching my first online shop and also what you can do differently to avoid them. Hi, I'm Maya, and for everybody who's new here, I moved from Germany to Barcelona to become a full-time artist here. And in the past few years, I tried to figure out a way to make my art into a sustainable income. And one of the biggest steps was building my own online shop to sell originals and art prints. So I launched my first online shop a few years ago, but it failed completely. I actually learned a lot from this experience, and now I know what I would do differently. And that's why I decided to make a full series where I take you with me how I built up my new online shop from scratch, where I show you every step of the process from digitizing your artworks to find the best provider for your art prints and getting your first order in your online shop. So this is kind of the first part, a little teaser, because now I would just want to share with you my story, all the mistakes that I did so that you can learn from that before you will start with your own online shop. So now I will share the 7 biggest mistakes that I made and I will tell you how to avoid them. It was back in 2021 and I had just taken my very first solo trip to Barcelona. I stayed for months in a hostel near the beach, and to my surprise it even had a small co-working space. I was still working as a freelance illustrator back then, doing client projects for websites and blogs, but deep down I wanted more freedom to create something on my own. So I spent hours in that co-working space, juggling client projects and dreaming of building something that truly felt like mine. And one day I opened up my iPad and looked through all the illustrations I had made for Instagram and thought maybe I could sell them as art prints. No plan, no audience, no real strategy, just this intense desire to create something completely on my own, with no instructions from clients. I had seen other artists using Shopify and I decided to give it a try. Over the course of 2 days, I designed my very first online shop, connected it to a print-on-demand provider and hit publish. I was so excited that I even posted a link to my shop in my Instagram story, probably to about 30 people at that time. That same night, I went to a local meetup in the neighborhood, and while I was sitting at a bar chatting with strangers, I got a notification on my phone. Someone actually had placed an order. And no, this isn't a story about overnight success. The order was from my dad. He bought a print and honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy and proud because for the very first time, something I had created was real, out there in the world. A few days later, he sent me a picture of the print hanging on his wall. That moment meant everything. It was the very first time I saw one of my artworks in someone else's space, even if that someone was family. Over the following year, I made 2 more sales, one from the mother of my sister's boyfriend and another again from my dad. So yes, all 3 prints stayed in the family. But for me, it was still a beginning, a small, imperfect, impulsive first step into something I've always dreamed of building. The first mistake I made, launching without a community. One of the biggest mistakes I made was launching my online shop without having any kind of audience. At that time, I had barely any followers on Instagram, I wasn't active on YouTube, and I didn't even really talk about my art online. I was creating a lot, but I was doing it quietly. And then I expected people to just find my shop, to somehow discover my art, understand my vision, and decide to buy something. But let me tell you, this is not how it works. Selling art online isn't just about uploading a few pretty pictures, it's about connection. People buy from people. They want to know your story, your process, your passion. They want to feel something. And if they've never seen your work before, never heard your voice or seen your face, why would they trust you enough to buy something? I launched too early, not because I wasn't ready creatively, but because I hadn't shared my work anywhere. And the truth is, you don't need a huge audience, but you do need someone who cares. A few people people who are following along, who are inspired by your journey, who feel connected to what you create. If I could go back, I would take time to first publish my work more, to put it out into the world as much as possible. So if you're just starting out, don't rush into opening your shop. Make sure that first some people see your work, that you share your work consistently and let people get to know you better. The second mistake, offering the wrong product. Another big mistake I made was not preparing my online shop with intention. I didn't create any new artwork specifically for the shop. Instead, I looked through my old Procreate files, picked a few pieces that I thought were good enough, adjusted them a little and added them as products. I didn't ask myself what kind of collection I wanted to offer. I didn't think about what kind of visual language or theme could tie everything together. I just uploaded what I already had and hoped it would work. But the truth is, people can tell when something is put together without much thought. A good shop should feel like a curated experience. When someone clicks through your products, it should feel cohesive, like everything belongs together, like you've put time and care into creating something special. Looking back, I know that if I had created even just a small intentional collection, 3 to 5 artworks that told a story that reflected my style at the time, it would have made a much stronger impact. It's not about quantity, it's about creating with purpose. So if you're planning your own online shop, ask yourself, what kind of experience do I want to offer? What message do I want to share through my art? And what kind of products align with that? Take the time to build a thoughtful collection. Make something you're truly proud of. Because your shop isn't just a store, it's a reflection of your creative identity. And the third mistake, not testing print quality and providers. I mean, I ordered a sample to my hometown, but only after I opened the shop, and I just could ask my mother to send me images and videos of the product to see the quality, as I was still in the hostel in Barcelona at the time. I also have to say here that I just wanted to make a very first test, testing the Shopify website builder and so on. I didn't even imagine to get a first order right away, even though it was just from my father. But imagine it would have been someone else, someone from my little community, and then the product quality would turn out bad. You should really make sure that everything works out good before you launch. But beyond the product itself, not testing means you also don't know how the provider handles shipping, how long it takes to arrive, how the packaging looks and feels. The thing is, when someone buys from your shop, especially as a small artist, they're not just buying your work, they are buying the experience. The feeling of opening that package, seeing the care you put into the packaging, the weight of the paper, the richness of the print, it all matters. If I could go back, I would start by ordering samples from at least 3 different providers. I would compare the papers, print quality, color accuracy, shipping times, and customer service. I would make a spreadsheet, take notes, and choose the one that actually makes my art look and feel amazing. Because at the end of the day, that print could be hanging in someone's home. It should make them feel something. So please don't skip this step. Your work deserves to be represented beautifully, and your buyers deserve to receive something that feels special. Order the print, hold it in your hands, and make sure it's something you would be proud to hang on your wall. Okay, so this is my progress so far. I want to let it dry now because this is just the first layer of my figure. Yeah, I think I will make this a little bit more pink again. The head I want to make in blue, and this maybe even a little bit brighter. I'm not completely sure yet, but I know that I want to have a more colorful figure, and maybe, yeah, in general a little bit more colorful, because now I have a lot of earthy tones, and I think I did this in my previous paintings a lot. So I want to make it a little bit more colorful again and brighter. But yeah, so far this is a progress, and you will see the finished painting in this video, and I will let it dry now and yeah, continue later. And the fourth mistake, ignoring the customer experience. The only fulfillment method I used was print on demand. So letting the company print and ship my product. And I had no control over how it looked or felt when it arrived. I couldn't include a thank you card, no branded touch, but people don't buy art for just the image. They buy the emotion behind it. They buy the connection, the meaning, the feeling of supporting someone's dream. And that emotional connection doesn't stop when they click order. In fact, that's where it all really begins. Imagine this. You receive a beautiful print wrapped carefully in paper with a handwritten note and maybe a little surprise inside. That's the kind of experience that makes someone feel seen. This time I want to do it differently. Yes, I will still offer print on demand for accessibility and convenience, but I will also offer a premium option where I handle the packaging myself, where I write a note, where I create an unboxing moment that feels special. Because every little detail matters. The way it's wrapped, the way your name is handwritten, these are the things that make a print feel like a gift, not just a product. If you're creating your own online shop, don't forget to think like your customer. What would you want to receive? The fifth mistake, no legal foundation. When I launched my first online shop, I barely looked into the legal side of things. I knew there were rules, sure, but I didn't really know what they were. There was no imprint on my website, no clear terms and conditions, no privacy policy, or at least just some drafts of the site. I had no idea how international sales work, and I assumed everything would just be fine. But the important part is, it could have gone wrong. There are strict rules about selling online, and as a small business owner, you're responsible for knowing them. If you don't include the right information on your site, you can get into trouble. At the time, I told myself it's just a small shop, no one will care, but that kind of thinking is exactly what puts small creators at risk, because you don't need to have 100 sales to be held accountable. Looking back, I think I was just overwhelmed. There's so much information out there, and a lot of it feels confusing, especially when you're just starting out. But ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Now with my new online shop, I'm taking the time to get this right. I'm researching properly, and if I have any doubts, I'll even invest in legal advice, because this shop isn't just a side project anymore. It's part of my dream, and I want to build it on solid ground. The sixth mistake, choosing Shopify too early. When I first discovered Shopify, I was honestly amazed. It looked so sleek, so professional, and it seemed like every successful artist or small business owner was using it. And at first, it felt exciting. The platform is easy to use and the features are great. At that time, I didn't have any social media following. I had no email list. I had never run a paid ad in my life. So my beautifully designed online shop just sat there, empty, no visitors, no sales, just a bill of 40 euros every single month. For more than a year, I paid that fee, and during that entire time, I sold only 3 prints. I had spent hundreds of euros on a platform that I simply wasn't ready for. And I think that's something a lot of new artists and creators need to hear. If you're just starting out, if you don't have a steady traffic yet, there are other options. You could use Etsy, where people are already searching for art and prints, and you can get organic sales without a big audience. You could start with a free or lower cost website builder like Wix or Squarespace, or even just promote your art through social media and handle payments manually for a while. There's no shame in starting small. What matters is building something sustainable, something that fits your current situation and grows with you over time. And the seventh mistake, having no clear vision. So in the end, the biggest mistakes that I made was jumping into everything without a clear vision of what I was actually trying to build. I didn't take the time to ask myself, what is my art about? What do I want to say with it? Who do I want to reach? And how do I want them to feel when they see my work? Your art doesn't have to appeal to everyone, but it does need to mean something to you. And that meaning is what will resonate with the right people. Looking back, I wish I had taken time to define a few things first. My style, my message, my values, the kind of experience I wanted to create, not just for customers, but for myself as an artist. What did I want my shop to represent? What kind of story did I want to tell? What kind of products did I feel excited and proud to offer? Without that vision, I was just throwing things into the void. And of course it didn't work. Now, as I prepare for this new version of my online shop, I'm doing things very differently. I'm asking deeper questions, I'm building collections around themes that matter to me, I'm thinking about how I want people to feel when they visit my shop or unbox a print for me. And most importantly, I'm making sure that everything I offer feels aligned with who I am as an artist and human being. So if you're thinking of starting your own online shop, don't skip this part. Take the time to find your voice, define your message, and build something that feels true to you. Because a clear vision is what transforms a simple product into something meaningful. And that's what makes all the difference.